Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to do the paper May-June 2014, paper 1, and that will be O-level math. So let's go to question number 1. So question number 1 is evaluate 12 plus 8, divide, bracket 9 minus 5. So when we see many operations, when we see plus, minus, divide and minus, we have to use BODMAS. B-O-D-M-A-S. Which means we have to do everything inside the bracket first, and then we have to do division, and then last one is addition. So inside the bracket, 9 minus 5 is 4, 8 divided by 4 is 2, and then we do plus, so 12 plus 2 is 14. So that will be answer part A. And part B, evaluate 0.018 divided by 0.06. So the way I like to do this is I first convert the decimals into fractions. So what is 0.018 in fraction? That will be 1/8 divided by 1, 2, 3. So it'll be 1, 2. So 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0 divided by 6 over 1, 2. That will be 100. So when we have divide, we can convert divide into multiply. So how do we do this? The first one, we leave it the same. So 18, 1, 2, 3. Convert divide to multiply. And then we have to flip the second one upside down. So it will be 100 divided by 6. So now we just have to simplify. So that will go away. Divide by 6 will be 1. That will be 3. So 3 divided by 10 will be 0.3. So answer part B will be 0.3. Question number 2. Tasnim records the temperatures in degrees Celsius at 6 a.m. every day for 10 days. So it means we have 10 numbers on the list. So the first thing we need to do is we need to rearrange the numbers from smallest to largest. So what is the smallest number here? It is minus 7. So minus 7 is the smallest, and then the next one will be minus 6, and then minus 5, minus 3, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, and 2. So these are the same numbers, but from the order of smallest to largest in ascending order. So question part A, find the difference between the highest and the lowest temperatures. The highest temperature is 2, minus the lowest will be minus 7. So 2 minus minus is plus. So 2 plus 7 is 9. Answer will be 9 for part A. Now part B, find the median temperature. So we have to do 10 because we have 10 temperatures. 10 plus 1 divided by 2. That will be 11 divided by 2 will be 5.5. So 5.5 is between two numbers. It is between 6 and 5. So we have to find the average of the fifth and sixth element. So let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fifth element is minus 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is minus 2. Find the average. We have minus 5 divided by 2, which is minus 2. So it will be minus 2.5 for the median temperature. And that is for question number 2. Question number 3. It is given that 3 over 4 is less than n and n is less than 7 over 8. Part A. Write down a decimal value of n that satisfies this inequality. So decimal value. So let's first convert this into decimal value. So 3 over 4 is actually 0.75. Is less than n is less than 7 over 8. So let's divide that. So what is 7 divided over 8? We will have 8 is 1. So in 7 we have 0 times 8, so 0. So in 70 we will have at least how many times 8? We have 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is so 72. So we'll be past that. So we have 0.8 something. So here it will become 0.8 and then something will be remaining. So what values is between? So n we can take n as 0.76 for decimal value. Okay, so now for part B, write down a fractional value of n that satisfy this inequality. So we can add them. We can find the midpoint of those two fractions, so we know it is in between exactly. So 3 over 4 plus 7 over 8 we will have. So let's times 2 and times 2 here. We have 6 plus 7 over 8. That will give me 13 over 8. Now divide by 2. We will have 13 over 16. And that is your answer for part B, 13 over 16. Question number 4. Here is part of a bus timetable. So we have a bus. It travels from this place to the airport. So it stops at the city hall, it stops at the railway station, it stops at the hospital, and the final stop is at the airport. So question part A. How long does a bus take to get from the bus station to the airport? So we have to find the time. So airport, if he leaves the bus station at 9:56, he arrives at the airport at 10:43. So we have to do 10:43 minus 9:56. 3:10. So 10 minus 6 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. And this is 9, and this will be 6. So 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. So he takes 47 minutes to travel from bus station to the airport. So now part B. Chris has a flight from the airport at 14:05. Okay. He must check in at the airport 2 hours before the flight, which means he needs to arrive by 12:05 because he needs to arrive 2 hours before the flight. So he will take the bus from to the airport from the city hall. So the city hall to the airport. Write down the latest time Chris can take the bus to be at the airport in time. So he needs to arrive by 15:05. It means that it cannot be this time. He must arrive by this time according to the schedule. So at what time from the city hall? So the bus he can take from the city hall will be at 11:03. And that is your answer for part B. And that is question number 4. Question number 5, express this number in standard form. So we have to count from the decimal place. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have to move 5 places to make it 8.52. So your answer will be 8.52 times 10 power minus 5. Okay, that was for part A. Now for part B, we have to do division. So we have 3 times 10 power 5 divided by 6 times 10 power 2. So we can break those two into 2 parts. So we can write 3 over 6 times 10, 5, and 10 power minus 2. So 3 divided by 6 will be 0.5 times 10. So when we have division, it will become subtraction for the indices. So 5 minus 2. So that gives me 0.5 times 10 power 7. And then now your answer in standard form, it will be 5 times 10 power of 6, because we have moved to the right, 6. And this is your answer for part B. Question number 6, complete the description of the pattern below. The pattern has rotational symmetry of order. That will be 3. Because as you can see, we have 3 of the same kind, 3 of the same kind, so 3. And the line of symmetry will be 0, because we cannot find any line of symmetry by observation. So part B, shade in 2 more small squares in this shape to make a pattern with exactly 2 lines of symmetry. So this is a square. Square has 1 line, 2, 3, 4 line of symmetry usually. So we have to observe here, where can we draw 2 squares to form 2 lines of symmetry. So if we draw the line here, we will draw 1 square and 2 square. So that would make, so that will be draw it here, that will become symmetric. Yeah, so that is right. If you draw this here and here, we observe that we have one line of symmetry if we draw a line across this way, and then we have another line of symmetry if you draw the line across this way. So those are the two squares we need to shade to find the answer for part B. Question number 7. The cost of a mirror is directly proportional to the square of its width. So what we can do is we can call this y. It is directly proportional to the square of its width. Let's call the width x. So the square of the width will be x squared for everything. So here we have y is directly proportional to the square of the width, which means y is kx squared. So now we have a mirror of width 40, which is x equal to 40, costs $24. So $24 equal to k 40 square. Right. So find the value of k. K will be 24 divided by 40 square. Okay, just leave it like that, that's okay. So now the equation that we have will be y equal to 24 divided by 40 square times x square. So work out the cost of the mirror of a width of 60. So find the value of y when x equal to 60, which means I have to replace the value of x here. So we have y equal to 24 over 6, so 40 times 40 times 60 times 60. So now we have to solve. So 0 cut, 0 cut, 4 goes away. We have 6, and then divide by 2, we have 2, 3, divide by 2 again, we have 3. So the answer will be 6 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is what? Is 9. 9 times 6 is 54. So answer for part 7, it is $54. So just to recap, if the name is too complicated, just change them into y and x, so we know exactly how to write those equations, and then find the value of k, and from k you can find the value of x or y given the correct information. So for part 7, the answer is 50. Question number 8, we have a and b are points on the circle, center O. TA and TB are tangents to the circle. So TA and TB, they are tangents. And we have angle BAT as 64. So we observe that OA and OB are what? Are radius, right? So these two will be the same. Okay, so question part 8. What special type of triangle is triangle ABT? So ABT. So since these two sides are the same, and we form a chord here, and the point T is formed by joining this line to this line from the same points, it means that these two sides are the same as well. So in this case, it will be called an isosceles triangle. Okay, so now moving on to part B, work out the angle AOB. So AOB, so we have to find this angle. Okay, so the first thing we can do is we can find this angle and then find this angle. So we know that if we have a tangent to the circle and it joins, we have a point which joins to the center, this angle here will be 90 and this angle here will be 90. So what does it mean? It means that this angle inside will be 90 minus 64. That will be 8, 10, 6, and 20. So the angle inside will be 26. So since the two sides are equal, we have 26 times 2. That will be 52. What is the size of this angle? So we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180. So we have 180 minus 52 will be what? So 7, 10 will be 8, 2, 1. So that will be your answer for part B. Angle AOB, 128. Question number 9, part A, evaluate 1 over 7 plus 3 over 4. So this is a simple fraction question. So the first thing we do, to find the LCM, we have to do it 7 times 4 for the denominator. And then we cross multiply. So we have 1 times 4 plus 3 times 7. Plus is because we have plus here. So 1 times 4 is 4, plus 3 times 7 is 21, divided by 28. So 21 plus 4 is 25, divided by 28, and that is your answer for part A. So now moving on to part B, we have 5, 1 over 3, divided by 1, 3 over 5. Giving your answers as a mixed number in its lowest term. Okay, so first let's solve this. So we first have to expand this. So 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So 16 over 3, divide by 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3 is 8, 8 over 5. So now when we have divide, we have to convert divide into multiply. So the first one remains the same, which is 15 over 3. Convert divide into multiply. And then for this side, we have to flip it over. So the bottom become the top, which is become 5 over 8. So now we can just solve. So 8, 1, that will be 2. So we get 2 times 5 is 10. 10 divided by 3. So now you have to give your answers as a mixed number in its lowest term. So how many times 3 we have in 10? So 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 3 times 3. And what is remaining will be 1 over 3. And this is your answer for part B. 3, 1 over 3. Question number 10, part A. Write this number correct to 3 significant figures. So this is important here. So we have 4, 0, 5, 9, 1, 7, 6, 2, 8. So when they ask us to write correct to 3 significant figures, we'll leave the 3 first number alone. We look at the 4th number. We ask ourselves if this number is bigger or equal to 5. If the answer is yes, we add 1 to the first 3 numbers. So in this case, the number is 9. So yes, we add 1 to the first 3. So 4 over 5 plus 1 will be 4 over 6. So 406. And then we convert the rest to 0. So it will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And that is your answer for part A. So now part B. By writing each number correct to 1 significant figure, to 1, that is important here, estimate the value of this fraction. So here we have 3 numbers. We have 41.3, 9.79, 0.765. So write these numbers down to correct to 1 significant figure. So 1, we leave the first one alone. We ask ourselves this one, is it bigger or equal to 5? No, it is not. So this becomes 4, and then we convert everything else to 0. So same thing here. Leave the first one alone. Ask ourselves if this number is bigger or equal to 5. The answer is yes, so we add 1 to the first number. So 9 plus 1 is 10, and everything else becomes 0. Okay, and the last part, the same thing here as well. So leave the first number alone. So we don't count 0 as the first number. We count this one. And is this bigger or equal to 5? Yes, so we add 1. It becomes 0.8, and the rest becomes 0. So now we replace back in the fraction. We will have 40 divided by 10 times 0.8. So cut. Divide by 4, we have 1, 0.2. So 1 divided by 0.2 is the same as, so if you move 1 decimal place here, we have to add 1 0. So 10 divided by 2 will be 5. So the estimated answer for part B will be 5. Question number 11. On the Venn diagram, shade the set P dash intersection with Q union R. So let's first find where is Q union R. So Q and R is these two set. Intersection with P dash, where is P dash? P dash is everything outside of P. So it will be this part of everything outside of P, but intersecting Q and R. So that is the answer for part A. So now part B, a group of 40 children are asked what pets they own. So we have 40 people in total. Of these children, 13 own cats, 5 own both, and 15 own neither. So let's draw a Venn diagram. So we have, this is a set for cat, and this is a set for dog, and this is the universal set. This is dog, this is cat. So what do we know? We know that 5 own both cat and dog, so 5 own both cat and dog, okay? And then we know that 13 own a cat, which means 13 minus 5 will be 8. 8 owns only a cat. And then 15 own neither, so 15 will be outside. Okay. So let's call this number, we don't know how many children has only dogs. So let's call it X, right? So what can we do is we need to find the X value, which is the number of children who own a dog but not a cat. So X value. So how do we find this? We know that in total we have 40 people, which means if we do 15 plus 8 plus 5 plus X will be equal to 40, because everyone adds up to 40. So now 15 plus 5 is 20, 20 plus 8 is 28, so 28 plus 4 plus X equal to 40. So X will be 40 minus 28, which is equal to 12. So your answer for part B will be 12. Question number 12. A cafe sells hot drinks. On Monday it sells 80 teas, 60 coffees, and 40 hot chocolates. On Tuesday it sells 70 teas, 90 coffees, and 50 hot chocolates. A cup of tea costs 80 cents. A cup of tea costs $1. It's coffee. A cup of hot chocolate costs $1.20. So this information can be represented by the matrices M and N. So as you can see, this is for Monday and this is for Tuesday from observation. And this is the cost of tea, coffee, and hot chocolate. Work out the matrix M times N. So M is 80, 60, 40, 90, 70, 90, and 50 times N. N is 0.8, 1, 1.2. So what do you get? So you have to do row by column. So row is 80 times 0.8 plus 60 times 1 plus 40 times 1.2. That's the first row by column. And then the next one will be 70 times 0.8 plus 90 times 1 plus 50 times 1.2. Okay, so now let's simplify. We have what? So 80 times 0.8, we can times 10 first. We cancel the 0, so it moves here and becomes 64 plus 60 plus, so they'll move here. 4 times 12 will be 48, and then here same thing, 56 plus 90 plus, so if we cut the 0, this will move back, so 5 times 12 will be 60. So now we simplify. This is pretty easy. We just have to add them up. We will have 172 for the first one, and then this one will be 206. Okay, so this is the answer for part A. So part B, explain what the numbers in your answer represent. So as you can see, what did we do here? We multiplied the number of teas, number of coffees, and the number of hot chocolates sold on Monday by the cost. So for the first number represents what? It represents the cost of those products on that day. So the numbers that we have, so it is they represent the total costs of tea, coffee, and hot chocolate on each corresponding day. which is Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so the important point is they represent the total cost of these ingredients on the day, Monday and Tuesday. This is Monday cost and this is Tuesday. Question number 13, we have f of x equal to 2 minus 3x. Find f of minus 5. So very easy, we have to replace the value of x by minus 5. Okay, so f of x, f of minus 5 will be 2 minus 3 and x will become minus 5. So 2 minus 3 actually will be plus, we bring out the minus, it will be plus. So 2 plus 15 will be 17. That is your answer for part A. So now let's find f inverse. First step, we have to let y equal to f of x, which is equal to 2 minus 3x. So now we have to make x subject. So y equal to 2 minus 3x. So 3x equal to, we bring 3x here, y become here 2 minus y. So x equal to 2y divided by 3. So inverse function of f of x, which means we have to replace the value of y by x, will be equal to 2 minus x divided by 3. And that is your answer for part B. Question number 14. A rectangle garden has length of 35 meters and width of 25 meters. These distances were measured correct to the nearest meter. So we have a rectangular garden, has length of 35 meters and width of 25 meters. Okay, it was measured correct to the nearest meter. It means to the nearest 1 meter. So how do you find the upper bound of the length of the garden? So since we have to use this because it says it is measured correct to the nearest meter, so we have to take 1 divided by 2, we get 0.5, right? So now we have to take the length. So the length is here, 35. We have to plus 0.5, we have 35.5. We have to minus 0.5, we will have 34.5. So write down the upper bound of the length will be, upper bound will be this, so 35.5. Okay. So work out the lower bound of the perimeter. Perimeter is a sum of all the sides of this rectangle. So to find the lower bound of the perimeter, we need to add up the lower bound of the width and the length. So what is the lower bound of 25? It will be 24.5, and this one will be 34.5, the lower bound. So we have to add up every side to find the answer. Okay, so 34.5 plus 34.5, let's do that. 34.5 plus 34.5, 5 plus 5 is 10, and then goes here. So 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 9 plus 1, so 69, and then 24.5 plus 24.5, so same, 0, 9, and 4, becomes 49 plus, so 69 plus 49, so 49 plus 69, we have 9 plus 9 is 18, and then we have 1 goes here, so 4 plus 6 is 10, so 11. So your answer for part B will be 111 meters for the lower bound of the perimeter of the garden. Question number 15, part A, find the gradient of the line L. So we have a line L here, we have to find the gradient. So the line L passes to the point, you see it passes to the point 0, 1 and the point 2, 2. So gradient will be 2 minus 1 over 2 minus 0. That will be 1 over 2, which is 0.5. So 0.5 will be the gradient of the line L. Okay. Now moving on to part B. The shaded region on the diagram is defined by 3 inequalities. One of these is x plus y less equal to 4. The line will be equal to 4, right? So let's rearrange this to y equal to minus x plus 4. So since the gradient is negative 1, it means the line is going down. So let's find the line on the graph. So which line can this equation represent? So this is the only line going down, which means this is the line x plus y equal to 4. Okay, great. So now we have to find the other two inequalities. So what is the equation of this line? So we have the gradient already. So we have a point. What we can do is we can do y minus 1 over x equal to 0.5. So y minus 1 equal to half x. So y equal to half x plus 1. So the line has equation y. So 2y times 2 everywhere. So we get 2y equal to x plus 2. Okay, that is the equation of this line. And then what is the other line? Yeah, I can see that it is this line, which is x equal to 1. Okay, so now let's go to part B. Write down the other two inequalities. So we can see that the shape is on this side, on the positive side of this. It means that it needs to be bigger than. So x is greater or equal to than 1. That's the first inequality. And for the other one, it needs to be over this one. So it will be 2y is bigger or equal to than x plus 2. And that is question number 16, part A. Dwayne buys a camera for $90. He sells the camera for $126. Calculate his percentage profit. So the first thing you have to calculate is profit. So profit is selling price, which is $126, minus cost, minus 90, will be $36. That's the profit. So now the percentage profit will be 36 divided by cost, which is 90, times 100. That will be divided by 9 will be 4. 4 times 10 will be 40. So he made a profit of 40%. Moving on to part B. The price of a computer was $375. In a sale, the price was reduced by 15%. Calculate the reduction in the price of the computer. So it was reduced by 50%. We have to calculate the reduction. So 15% times the price, which is $375. This will give me what? Divide by 5. We have 25. That will be 3. Divide by 5 again. We have 5. And that will be 7. 2 remaining will be 5. Divided by 5 again will be 25. Okay, so 3 times 25 will be 75. So the reduction in price was $75. Okay, moving on to part C. The exchange rate between euros and dollars is 1 euro is equal to $125. Convert 180 euros to dollars. So 1 euros is equal to $125. So 180 euros will be equal to 125 times 180. So let's do that. So we have 125 times 180. So we have 5 times 8 is 40. 2 times 8 is 16. Plus 4 is 20. And we have 1 times 8 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. Okay. And here we have 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 2 is 2. And 1 times 1 is 1. So we add that together. What do we get? We get 0, 0, 5, 2, 2. So here we have 2 decimal places. We have to move 1, 2 decimal places. So the answer will be 225 for this part. So now we have to convert $500 to euros. So we know that $125 is equal to 1 euro. So how much is $500? We have to do 1 divided by 125 times 500. Okay. So we can convert this to a fraction. So 125 is equal to 125 divided by 100, right? And 1 divided by this will be equal to this divided by 125 times 500. Okay, let's solve. So divide by 5, we have 100. We have 2, 5. 25 is 4, so your answer will be 400. And that is question number 17. The diagram shows triangles A, B, and C. So A, B, and C. Part A. Triangle A can be mapped onto triangle B by translation. So A to B can be done by translation. So write down the column vector for the translation. So let's take the point and the corresponding point. So how can we move from this to this? We have to move 1, 2, 3, and 1 up. So the vector for the translation will be 3 and 1. Okay, so now for part B, find the matrix representing the transformation that maps A onto C. So A onto C. So we observe that to map A onto C, it will be a reflection in the line y-axis, right? Because you can count, so this will be 1, 2, and 1, 2 will be here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it is a reflection. So for reflection in the y-axis, we have the matrix of -1, 0, and 0, 1. So that will be the matrix representing the reflection in the y-axis. So now moving on to part C. Triangle A is mapped to triangle D by enlargement, scale factor 2, center 5. So the first thing is let's mark the center. Center 5 will be 5, 0. That's our center. And the scale factor is 2, and it will be enlargement. Okay. So the first thing we can do is we can label the points. This is the point A, B, and C. Right. So let's count. For me to go to point A from my center, I have to move 1, 2, 3 to the left and 1 up. So let me write this here, right? Let me write this here. So from point A, if I want to go to the center, I have to move by the vector -3 and 1. So -3 and 1. So now I have to multiply this by 2. Why? Why by 2? Because of the scale factor is 2 for the enlargement. Okay. So multiply by 2, we get what? So -3 times 2 is -6. 1 times 2 is 2. That will be the image of A. So that will be the first point of the triangle D. So now the same thing again. We have to go to point B. So how do we go to point B from this center? So we have to go 1, 2, and 1 up. So -2 and 1. And then times 2 again, because of the scale factor is 2. It will be -4 and 2. That's the point B dash. And then C, same thing again. How do we go to point C? So 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So -2 and 3 times 2 again, because the scale factor is 2. -2 times 2 is -4. 3 times 2 is 6. That will be the point C dash. So now let's map the points A dash, B dash, and C dash. So A dash is -6, 2 from this center. So -6 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then 2 will be where? 1, 2 will be here. That's the first point. And then -4, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. And the last one will be -4, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's join the points to find the triangle D. So that's the point D. Okay, and that's it for question number 17. Question number 18, part A. Find the size of the interior angle of a regular octagon. So how many sides does an octagon has? It has 8 sides. So find the interior angle. So we first have to find the sum of all the angles. So we use a formula, which is 8 minus 2 times 180, which is equal to 6 times 180, which is what? So 6 times 180 will be, so 6 times 8 will be 48, and 6 times 6 is 1 plus, so 6 plus 4 will be 10. So the sum of all the angles will be 1080. So what is the size of one of the angle? We have to do 1080 divided by 8. So let's divide by 8. We have 1, 3, and we have what remains? 4 remains, we have 5. So the answer will be 135 degrees. Okay, so now moving on to part B. A regular octagon, which is the same shape as we did in the first part, an equilateral triangle. So what does this mean? It means that all the sides are equal. Okay, and a regular n-sided polygon fit together at a point. And this is the polygon, this is the octagon, and this is the triangle. Okay, so part A, an interior angle of regular n-side polygon has an angle is A. So this angle is A. Find the value of A. So what do we know? We know that the angle of the octagon is 135. And the angle of the triangle is what? So this is an equilateral triangle. All the sides are the same. So the angle will be 60. So this forms a circle, which means the angle A will equal to 360 minus 60 minus 135. So let's do the math. So that will be 5, 10, so 5. So this will be 2, 10. So 10 minus 6 will be 4. 4 minus 1 will be, minus 3 will be 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. And 2 minus 1 will be 1. Angle A will be 165. So that's part A, 165. So find the value of n. N is the number of sides. So what do we know? We know that the size of the interior angle is 165, which means if we take n minus 2 times 180 divided by n, we will have 165. So now let's simplify. We cross multiply, we have 180n minus, so we can first simplify this. So let's bring n here. We have 180 n minus 2, 165 n. So let's divide by 5 on both sides. We have what here? So here we divide by 5, we have so 36. Divide by 5, we have what? So 3. And now divide by 3, we have 1, 2, and 11. So we have 12n minus 2 equal to 11n. So now let's bring this here, we can expand. So we will have 12n minus 24 equal to 11n. So 12n minus 11n equal to 24. So n equal to 24. So number of sides will be 24 for this polygon. And that is question number 18. Question number 19, part A. This is indices. Evaluate cube root of 216. So I know that 216 is equal to 6 times 6 and times 6. So 6 cubed. I know this, but if you don't know this, that's okay. You can always find the prime factors of 216. So you can do 216 divide by 2. We have 1, 0, 8. Divide by 2. We will have 5, 4. Divide by 2. We will have 27. Divide by 3 will be 9, 3, and 3. So 216 is equal to 2 power 3 times 3 power 3. And the cube root of 3 times 3 power 3 is equal to 2 times 3, which is 6. So your answer for part A is 6. So now for part 2, 16 power half minus 16 power 0. So anything power 0 is 1. So 16 power half, we know that 16 is equal to 4 square. So 4 square half is equal to 4. So now we have 4 minus 1 equal to 3. And that is your answer for part 2. So now part B, simplify the fraction with a power of minus 2. So when we have a power of minus 2, we can first convert the power to a positive 2. So how do we do this? We first have to flip the inside upside down. So 12a b4 divided by 3a squared b. Now the power has changed from minus 2 to 2. So now we simplify. A goes away. And then 1, b, 3 or b4. So we have 4b cubed divided by a power 2, which will be 16b6 over a squared. And that is your answer for part B. Question number 20. The diagram shows the speed time graph for 100 seconds. So 0 to 100, so that will be 100 seconds. Speed time graph of a car's journey. The car accelerates uniformly from a speed of v to a speed of 3v in 50 seconds. It then continues at a constant speed of 3v. Okay, so part A, find in terms of v the acceleration of the car in the first 50 seconds. So in this 50 seconds, what was the acceleration? So first, let's draw a straight line. Okay, so when we have a speed time graph, the acceleration is equal to the gradient of triangle. Right, so here we have a triangle. So what is the height? The height is 3v minus v, which is 2v, and the base will be 50 minus 0 is 50. So the gradient will be the height divided by base, which is 2v divided by 50 is equal to, so we can times 2 here and times 2 here. We will have 4v divided by 100. So your answer will be 0.04v meters per second squared. That is for part A. So now the car travels 2,500 meters during the 100 seconds. Find the value of v. So which means that the distance traveled is equal to area on the graph. So let's find that. So we observe the area on the graph is the area of a trapezium. So what is the size of this length? It is 100. And the size of this length will be 50. And the height in between is what? Is 3v. So area of trapezium will be half times the sum of both sides. This side is 100 plus this side is 50 times the height in between will be 3v. So now we simplify. We have half times 150 times 3v divided by 2 will be 75. So 75 times 3 will be 5 times 3 is 15. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 1 will be 22. So your answer will be 22.5v. So now this is the area in the graph, 22, so 22.5v, which is also equal to 2500. So now we have to find the value of v. So let's bring this over here. So 22.5v equal to 2200. Let's divide by 25. We will have both sides will be what? 25. Here we have 5. Here we have 100. So v will be 100 divided by 5, which is equal to 20. So your answer for B will be 20. Okay, so now part C. Find the speed of the car in kilometers per hour when t equal to 75. So let's first find the speed at t equal to 75, and then we convert to kilometers per hour. So t equal to 75 will be about here, and the speed will be 3v. So the speed will be 3v, which is 3 times 20, which is 60 meters per second. So now we have to convert this to kilometers per hour. So in 1 second, we travel 60 meters. So in 1 hour, how many seconds do we have? So let's convert this to kilometer. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So 60 meters is equal to how many kilometers? We have to do 1 over 1000 times 60, which will be 0.064 kilometers. So 1 second is equal to 0.06 kilometers. So now we have to change this time. So 1 hour equal to 60 minutes, which is equal to 60 times 60 seconds, which is 36 seconds. So we have to find, so in 1 second we travel 0.06 kilometers. Now we have to find how much we travel in 3600 seconds. So we have to multiply 0.06 times 3600. So cut those two, move to decimal place. So 6 times 36 will be what? That'll be 216. Yep, so your answer will be 216 kilometers per hour for part C. Question number 21. Luis has 3 black pens, so 3 black pens, has 7 red pens in a case. He takes 2 pens from the case at random without replacement. So we have first pen and second pen. So the chances he has of taking the first pen, of which is black, is 3 over 10. So 3 pen over 10 total. So if we add those two, it will be 10 in the first pick. So what is the chances he takes a red? It will be 7 over 10. Okay, so now we have take in this case we have took a black pen, and then what is remaining? So if we take out a black pen, we will have 2 black and 7 red remaining. In total we have 9 pens. So if we take a black pen for the second pen, it will be 2 over 9, and if we take a red pen for the second pen, it will be 7 over 9. Okay, and in this case we will have, if we take a red pen, we will have 3 black pen remaining and 6 red pen, and add up to 9. So if you take a black pen, it will be 3 over 9. If you take a red pen, it will be 6 over 9. And that is the tree diagram for this question. So now part B. Find as a fraction in its lowest term the probability that, part A, Luis takes 2 black pen. So it will be black and black. So 2 black pen will be black and black. It will be 3 over 10 times, which is n. So n black will be 2 over 9. So 1 will be 3, 2, 5. So 1 over 15 will be the answer in its lowest form. So now part 2. Luis takes 2 different colored pens. So he can take black and red, or he can take red and black. So the first case will be black and red. So 3 over 10 times 7 over 9. So 3 over 10 times 7 over 9, all will be plus red and black. Red will be 7 over 10 times black, 3 over 9, equal to what? So 3 times 7 will be 21 over 10 times 9 is 90, plus 7 times 3 will be 21 over 90 as well. So your answer will be 42 divided by 90. So we have to simplify. So divide by 3. We have 1, 4, 30. And that is your answer, which is 14 over 30 will be your answer for this question. Question number 22. We have a shape A, B, C, D, E, F, G is made from two squares, so square 1, square 2, and a right angled triangle. So it is right angled triangle. So we have AB equal to 15, so this side is 15 centimeters, and BC is equal to 12. BC is 12. So now we know that this is a square and this is a square. Square have all the same sides, so this will be 12, this will be 12, and this will be 12, and this we don't know. Okay, so part A, find the length of AG. So AG is this length. So this length is also equal to this length, and this length, because it is a square. So let's find this length. Find the length of AE. So we know that AG equal to AE. So let's find the length of AE. So we see that we can use, let's call it X. We can use Pythagoras theorem. So we know that 15 square equal to 12 square plus X square. So X square equal to 15 square minus 12 square. So 15 square will be 15 times 15, which is 225, and 12 square is 12 times 12, which is 141. So 225 minus 141 will be 81. So X square is equal to 81, which means X equal to square root of 81, which is 9. So AE will be equal to 9, which means AG is also equal to 9. So your answer for part A is 9 centimeters. So this is 9, 9, 9, and 9. So part B, find the total area of the shape. So as we can see, we have area of a square, square, and triangle. So let's do it one by one. So what is this area? It is 12 times 12. That's the first one. 12 times 12 plus, what is this one? 9 times 9 plus, the last one is a triangle, will be half times base of height. So half times the base, which is 9, and times the height, which is 12. So now we simplify. So 12 times 12 will be 141 plus 9 times 9 is 81 plus, so we have to simplify, we get 6. 9 times 6 is 54. So now we have to add those three numbers. We will have what? So 141 plus 81 will be 2, 2, 2. So 2, 2, 2 plus 54 will be 6, 7, 2. And that is your answer for part B, 276 centimeters square. Question number 23, expand and simplify. So how do we expand this? So we take the first one, 2x, and then we multiply by the bracket, plus 4, plus 1, and then bracket. Now we expand. 2x times x will be 2x squared, plus 2x times 4 will be 8x. Now plus x plus 4. That will become 2x squared plus 9x plus 4. That will be your answer for part A. So now for part B, write this number as a single fraction in its simplest form. So we first have to find the LCM. So it will be x plus 2. So we times those two numbers, and then we cross multiply. So 3x plus 2 plus 4x. That will be 3x plus 6 plus 4x divided by x plus 2. So 3x plus 4x will be 7x plus 6 divided by x plus 2, and that is your answer for part B. So now moving on to part C, solve this equation. So when we have 10 over x equal to x plus 3, we have to cross multiply. So 1 times 10 is 10, x times x plus 3. Expand that, we have 10 equal to x squared plus 3x, which brings you to x squared plus 3x minus 10 is 0. So now we have to factorize. So what is the factors of 10, which is 2? So 2 times 5 is 10. So we have x squared will be x times x. And for us to get plus 5, we have to plus 3, we have to plus 5 minus 2. So that's the only way we can get plus 5. So your answer will be x minus 2 equal to 0, which is x equal to 2. X plus 5 equal to 0, which means x equal to minus 5. So your answer for part C will be x equal to minus 5 or x equal to 2. Question number 24. Some students will ask how long they had each spent doing homework the day before. These results summarized in the table. So we have time. So this is a group of each time that we have. So we have girls and boys here. Part A. On the grid, draw a frequency polygon to represent this information for the girls and for boys. Another one for boys. So first thing is for the girls. So what is the first step? The first step we do is we have to find the midpoints of those classes. So let's find the midpoint. Here will be 0.25. The midpoint here will be 0.75, 1.25, 1.75, 2.25, and the last one is 2.75. So that's the midpoint, and this will be your x-axis, and that is your y and y-axis. So for the first one, let's do the girls. Girls, let's label the axis first. So let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. Okay, label the axis so we know where to draw the points. Okay, so let's do the girl first. Girls have point 0, 25, and 0. So it begins here. The next one is 0, 7, 5, 5. Okay, so it'll be here. 5 will be here. Next one is 1.25, 8. So 1.25, 8 will be here. Next one will be 1755. It will be here. Okay. Next one is 225, 0. Oh, sorry, I messed up here. So actually 175 is 6. So let's take this off. 175 will be 6. It's here. 225 is 0. So 225 will be 0. And the last one is 275 is 1. 275 is 1 here. Okay, that's the points for the girl. So let's join that together. So we have the polygon for the girls. And the last point, and that's it. So now let's use a different color for the boys. Boys, we have 0.253. So 0.253 will be here. And the next point will be 3. So 75 will be 3. And the next one will be 1.254. So 1.254 will be here. And the next one will be 1.755. So 755 will be here for the boys. 2.253. So 2.253 will be here. And the last one we have is 2.752. 2.752 will be here. Okay. So now let's join the points with a straight line to form this polygon for the boys. So join this and this. Okay, and that's it for question part 1. Now for part B, write down the model group for the girls. So as you can see, for the girls, which one has the most frequency? So this, which means this group is a model group, which is 1, 1.5. So this will be here, just that. So now for part C, make a comment comparing the distribution of the times spent by the girls with the time spent by the boys. So one of the comments we can make is that we can make a comment that we have the boys' time has more range. So let's say one of the comments we can use is time spent by the boys have a higher range. That's an example. We could also talk about the mode, or you could talk about the range and the mode. That's the two things you can talk about based on the information. So that was question number 24. Question number 25. So in a quadrilateral ABCD, angle A is equal to this and angle D is equal to this. So we have everything defined for angle A to D. Okay. So part A, by finding the sum of all the angles in the quadrilateral, show that 7y plus 5x equal to 345. So let's add everything up together by finding the sum of all the angles. So angle A is 2y plus x plus 3y plus x, that will be angle B, plus angle C will be 2y plus 10, and angle D will be 3y plus 5. So what is the sum of all the angles in a quadrilateral? It is 360. So now let's simplify. So 2y plus 3y is 5y, plus 2y is 7y, plus x plus x is 2x, plus 3x is 5x, plus 10 plus 5 is 15, 360. So 7y plus 5x equal to 360 minus 15, 345. Okay, shown just like above. So now moving on to part B. Given that angle A is equal to 90 degrees, so we have 2y plus x equal to 90. So now we have to solve the equations to find x and y. So we have to solve the simultaneous equations. So the first equation is this. This is the second one. So I will solve this by using substitution method because I have x as a single term here. So x is equal to 90 minus 2y. So that's the first derivation. So now we replace this in equation number 1. What do we have? We have 7y plus 5x, which is 90 minus 2y equal to 345. So now let's expand. We have 7y plus 450 minus 10y equal to 345. So 7y minus 10y will be minus 3y. 345 minus 450, that will be 1. So 450 minus 345 will be 105. So the other way around, 345 minus 450 is minus 105. So we'll bring this back here. We have y equal to 105 divided by 3, which is 85 degrees. So x will be, 35, my bad. 35 degrees for x, for y. So the value of x will be 90 minus 2 times y. 90 minus 70, that will be 20. So value of x will be 20 and the value of y will be 35. Okay, so now we have to find the size of the smallest angle in the quadrilateral. So in this quadrilateral, we have 4 angles. Angle A, which is 90, given to us. Angle B, we know that y equal to 35 and x equal to 20. So 3y plus x, so 3 times y is 105, plus x plus 20, we 125. That's too much. Angle C will be 2 times y is So 2 times y is what? Is 70. 70 plus 10, that will be 80. And the last one is 3 times x is 60 plus 5, 65. So the smallest angle from those three, or from those four, will be 65 degrees. So that will be angle D, and your answer for part C will be 65 degrees